Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has inaugurated the Nichupte Vehicular Bridge in Cancun, a massive project spanning 11.2 kilometers, making it the second longest of its kind in Latin America after Brazil's Rio Niterói Bridge. Footage showed hundreds of attendees, including runners and cyclists, crossing the new structure, which features three lanes, a bike path, and navigation passages. Local officials say the bridge will ease travel to tourist areas and cut commute times for thousands of workers. Built with a groundbreaking top-down method to protect the lagoon and mangroves, the project represents a historic milestone for Cancun residents. The investment totaled 12 billion pesos, approximately 687 million US dollars. US President Donald Trump has warned that renewed military strikes on Iran remain possible if Tehran misbehaves or does something bad. Speaking Saturday before departing for Doral, Trump said he would like to eliminate Iran's remaining missile capability, insisting the country is decimated and eager for a deal. He also described the ongoing naval blockade as very friendly, claiming no one is challenging it. A day earlier, Trump likened US actions to being sort of like pirates after the seizure of an Iranian tanker, calling it profitable. The president further confirmed US troop withdrawals from Germany will exceed the previously reported 5,000, saying cuts will go a lot further. Japan has restarted the number 6 reactor at the Kashiwazaki Kariwa nuclear power plant in Niigata, aiming to reduce reliance on liquefied natural gas imports through the Strait of Hormuz. Plant manager Takeyuki Inagaki says stable operation for 1 year could save up to 1.3 million tons of LNG, about 30% of Japan's annual imports from Qatar. The restart comes after 14 years of closure following the 2011 Fukushima disaster. Tokyo Electric Power Company reinforced the site with a 15-meter seawall and extensive operators training, stressing safety as the top priority. Asia remains critically dependent on the Strait of Hormuz, which handles over 80% of oil and LNG shipments, now disrupted by conflict in the Middle East. Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has warned that shipping disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz are having an enormous impact on the Asia-Pacific. Speaking in Australia on Monday as she began a 3-day visit, Takaichi said the effective closure of the vital waterway, blocked since Iran was attacked by the US and Israel in February, is hitting energy supplies hard. Roughly one-fifth of global oil and LNG passes through the strait, with 80% bound for Asia. Australia, which provides a third of Japan's energy, signed new agreements with Tokyo to boost cooperation on energy, defense, and critical minerals. Canberra pledged nearly $1 billion to support joint mineral projects, while both nations reaffirmed military ties amid regional security concerns. Hundreds of members of Mali's diaspora gathered in Paris on Saturday to honor Defense Minister Sadio Camara and victims of the April 25 attacks. Footage showed protesters waving Malian flags and holding placards near the Duroc metro station. Organizers praised Camara as a man who worked tirelessly for Mali's sovereignty, while demonstrators expressed grief and anger over his killing. Some accused France and NATO of directing violence through proxy armed groups, claiming foreign powers seek to reassert influence in Mali. Camara was killed in a suicide car bombing in Kati alongside members of his family. Mali's President Assimi Goïta has described the clashes as part of a broader destabilization plan backed by external sponsors. A local startup in Togo is tackling pollution and energy poverty with innovation. Rubaloto has launched a sensor-equipped bins and a mobile app to collect plastic waste, recycling it into solar-powered school bags for children. Founded by entrepreneur Ayman Badamasi, the initiative aims to remove 400 tons of plastic while providing students with lights to study at night. Footage showed waste piled in the streets as the team distributes smart bins and QR codes to households. The model creates a circular economy. Households earn revenue from plastic collection, while the waste is repurposed into solar bags. Environmental experts say the project addresses two crises at once: waste management and energy shortages, and could be scaled to more cities across West Africa. Local vigilante groups in Nigeria's Niger State say they are stepping up efforts to defend their communities amid escalating attacks by armed groups. Footage from Wamba village showed residents carrying weapons and patrolling on motorcycles. Leaders describe repeated clashes with bandits crossing from neighboring states, often with limited resources. Many fighters have died, and residents report mass displacement and economic losses. One vigilante recounted being shot and left without government support, while locals say more than 500 households have been uprooted. Communities have now organized self-defense committees to back the fighters. The violence comes amid wider insecurity across Nigeria, including a deadly assault in Adamawa State and mass kidnappings targeting schools. UNICEF reports only 37% of schools nationwide have early warning systems. Russia has accused Washington of violating international norms by forcing American citizenship on children of its consular staff. In an op-ed Monday, a Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova said the U.S. State Department is flouting federal law and diplomatic immunity, calling the practice absurd and a blow to President Donald Trump's anti-immigration agenda. According to Zakharova, the policy began in 2023 under Joe Biden and warned it could give Washington leverage over Russian diplomats. Under U.S. law, children of foreign diplomatic officers are exempt from birthright citizenship, though considered lawful permanent residents. Moscow insists coercive naturalization breaches bilateral agreements and international rules.
I supported that.
President Ilham Aliyev has said peace between Azerbaijan and Armenia is now a reality. Speaking in Baku on Monday, Aliyev said the two countries have entered a new era of reconciliation after years of hostility, stressing that peace is not just a possibility, but already taking shape. He highlighted ongoing efforts to normalize relations and build cooperation across the region. The announcement follows recent agreements aimed at ending decades of conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh, which has long been a flashpoint between the two nations. Aliyev expressed confidence that the peace process will bring stability and prosperity to the South Caucasus, calling it a turning point in regional history. This year on World Press Freedom Day, celebrated every May 3, journalists from Gaza and Lebanon have highlighted the extreme dangers facing media workers during the war. In Gaza, reporters described working under constant threat. Journalists also face internet blackout, displacement, and direct targeting. In Lebanon, correspondents recounted coming under fire near border towns, while the Union of Journalists warned this year has been one of the worst for press safety. A UN report says nearly 300 journalists have been killed in Gaza since October 2023, and Lebanon is now the deadliest country for reporters in 2026. Israel denies deliberately targeting journalists, though it has admitted responsibility for some deaths.